And so listening to that, knowing that history, living that history as you did, and you're still saying this is different, what makes this time so different?
No president has ever sent troops into the democratic cities across the country saying full force. No president, as far as I know, has tried to control the Federal Reserve, the central bank. He is amassing power in a way that will destroy our democracy. And so we're going to stand up. You know, we're creatives, we're storytellers. We can do it creatively. We can have a good time while we do it. But we want to push back, and we want to model what creative, nonviolent, non-cooperation looks like. That doesn't mean just showing up for people who are under attack, like Jimmy Kimmel. A lot of us signed that ACLU statement protesting what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. Mm-hmm. But we want to also we want to be proactive, and we want to show what that can look like, and we want to. Violence is not, we will not tolerate violence. We don't want any of that. But we want to move forward with love, with unity, with solidarity, and we want to encourage everybody else and all the other sectors of this country to do the same. You know, we don't want to be a pillar of support to this regime that's forming.
F number 47.
Exactly.
He's such an idiot. He is so stupid. He just walks right into things like this.
Yep.
He's really the marketing genius, by the way.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
He's, wow, brilliant. Hold him back. The art of the deal, etc.
Well, I mean,
name the fighter jet F-47 after himself, and when you say it, it sounds exactly what we're all saying.
Right.
As we scream into our pillow.
Exactly. I mean, and Donald wants to put our armed services, whether it's the Marines or the National Guard or whomever, into cities to help them train to be soldiers, which when you train, you're shooting at things. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So are we the targets? I mean...
Yeah. Yeah, this is immensely dangerous. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering where it's going to lead, if this is going to continue to escalate, and how it can be stopped. I think, because I'm in this constant tug of war between the horrendousness that Donald Trump blurts in public versus what actually ends up happening.
Right.
Like, for example, Portland, I think that situation, if it happens at all, is going to only last for, 60 days or something like that.
Right.
So in my more optimistic moments, I think, okay, this is what Donald Trump is doing. He's checking boxes. He's saying, I did this, I did this, I did this. Has no real effect other than to scare the hell out of anyone who dares to protest against him or speak out against him. But the long-term effect, I don't know if it's going to be one of these ongoing occupations that's going to affect elections. I obviously, as we all do, I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't come to that. But I'm trying to measure my inherent sense of panic about this with the idea that Donald says a lot of things and often doesn't follow through because Trump always chickens out. So there's that's keeping me from just completely losing my mind over all of this.
Yeah, I mean, Tammy Duckworth has asked for Hegseth's resignation. She asked for it anyway, but obviously the speech yesterday just, brings it up to a different level.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I look, ultimately, I would imagine most of those generals probably voted for Donald Trump or against the Democrats.
Right.
We'll just put it that way.
Right.
The chances are usually when it comes to military personnel, they tend to lean significantly toward the Republican Party.
Yes, they do.
I can't imagine any of those generals sitting through that nightmare that occurred at Quantico yesterday and going, oh, yeah, he's a brilliant commander-in-chief. I'm so glad to be serving under him. No, I think the vast majority of them are going, this guy is crazy, and we have to be very careful to make sure we uphold our oaths to the Constitution and don't fall into this authoritarian trap where we're used as pawns, where we're used as props. I think that was one of the things that maybe bugged them the most.
Yeah.
Is once again being used as political props for Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, of all people. And just going back to Donald Trump for a second, they had to know that this is a guy who's talking, a big game about going to war against American citizens. And Donald Trump, we have to make sure to remind everybody that he got 5 deferments from the Vietnam draft.
Right.
Not 1, 5. And further.
And everyone in that room knows that.
Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he sent 5 kids to fight and die in his place. And who knows how, the numbers turned out, how that fate situation kind of played out. But that is immensely cowardly. And as Chris just said, this is something that all those generals were well aware of. So I don't think any of them were taking Donald Trump all that seriously. And insofar as their preference for him, but which I don't think they have. So I think they're deeply concerned about the commander-in-chief having, his cheese completely slipped off his cracker.
That is very true. And the thing, Chris brought it up a little bit ago, that when Donald walked out to speak to them, nobody applauded.
It was silence.
He just walked out on the stage, and it
because that's how in the military
you do it.
You greet someone who's coming to speak.
Yeah, and he was put off guard for that.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah,
he was expecting a rally, and he didn't get the rally.
He didn't get his rally, exactly.
And you could tell it kind of pissed him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there were a couple of different bubbles that were burst during that event yesterday. First of all, Donald realizing that not everyone adores him.
Right.
Not everywhere he goes, he's going to confront people who just absolutely worship him like a messiah. And at the same time, I think some of the generals who maybe only get their news from Fox News had never seen a Donald Trump rally and didn't know that this is the kind of nonsense that blurts out of his mouth and gets euphemized as being the weave or whatever they call it.
Right.
Like, no, this guy is insane. He has no business being president. He has no business being commander in chief. He is only a danger to American prosperity and American values. And I think that was on full display for anyone who hadn't seen Donald Trump in that condition. And just his mental decline on top of everything else. I think his lack of energy.
Yeah, he sounded
his
like he was
basic inability
sedated,
yesterday to push words out of his mouth, seeming to not have enough breath, is constantly whispering. I think we made a lot of fun of that on the podcast yesterday. But it's actually one of those things that maybe many of the generals hadn't seen before and were maybe seeing for the first time.
I think a lot of people, I was talking to a neighbor of mine yesterday who, strangely, a gay man that's a Trump supporter, he has no idea what's going on because he doesn't watch anything outside of the Fox News bubble. And so he has no clue as to what is really happening. And you just can't talk to somebody like that unless you sit down and go, here, look at this, here, look at that. You know what I mean? And I like that Donald said, I'm a very aesthetic person. I don't like some of the ships you're doing aesthetically. They say it is stealth. That's not stealth. It's an ugly ship. It's not necessary in order to say you are stealth. And you with aesthetics, the whole hand thing and everything. It's just like...
This is in front of a room full of America's top brass in the United States military. My God. And he's saying, I don't like the shapes of these stealth ships, not realizing that it's the shape of the battleships that make them stealth.
Right.
I think he legitimately thinks that stealth means literally invisible.
Yeah, like Wonder Woman's plane.
Stealth fighters are literally invisible. Stealth battleships are literally invisible. So why do they look so ugly if they're invisible?
He thinks they're Wonder Woman's airplane.
Yeah, they do. That's what he thinks. He thinks it's a Wonder Woman's airplane, and that's
the
how
invisible jet.
Exactly. That's exactly what he thinks stealth means.
He is the stupidest human being to ever hold that office. And the great irony is 35% of American voters think that he's a genius, that he's playing 7-layer chess, and the weave and whatever is absolute nonsense. We need to change the shape of the stealth battleships. Okay, good luck making them stealth anymore. There are military engineers and contractors going, what?
Well, and as you point out, he's so beautiful to look at himself that obviously...
right.
Okay, here's my thing. Why are they imploring every single member of the military to be as fit as Pete Hegseth when the commander-in-chief is a fat slob?
Yeah.
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 Well, and Pete Hegseth couldn't do a pull-up to save his life. Right. We've seen that before.
Well, yeah.
You know what he looks like? When he's trying to do a pull-up, he kind of flops around. He looks
does.
like one of those Instagram videos of the robots when they fall over and they just start wigging out. That's what he looks like trying to do a pull-up.
It's a very CrossFit way.
Yeah.
It's very CrossFit what he does.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the things that Pete Hegseth said yesterday was he was talking about the overweight generals.
Right.
But he was also talking about height requirements as well.
Well, you're already in the military, so
he-
you've already passed that height requirement, I would assume.
Yes, exactly. And they can't change their height.
No.
That's not something you can, unless they do the Bobby Brady hanging from a chin-up bar kind of thing and trying to get taller.
Yeah.
Or
That
get
episode
pulled
of
on
the
a
Brady
rack.
Bunch.
Well, the military needs recruits.
Thank you.
We have needed recruits.
Yes.
And he's closing the door on a whole bunch of these possible recruits. So where are we going to get all these recruits from?
We're not.
He doesn't know. He thinks that they're just going to want to be part of his government or something. This is going to be one of those things. Maybe they start to get some recruits from some of these weekend warrior militia guys who have never served, who collect, have a collection of several hundred firearms that they take pictures of on Instagram.
Yeah,
and maybe it's those guys. Maybe it's this generation of lost boys with YouTube channels.
But I don't
talk a big game.
I don't think they would meet his weight requirements because they sit in mom's basement eating pizza.
Yeah,
We saw Phil Metal Jacket. We know.
Yeah.
So it's just, with Donald and his such beautiful body and such, his wonderfully fitted suits.
Oh yes!
Voluptuous.
Oh god! Yeah, that's
Voluptuous.
that's something we all remember. Our friend Ches, my podcast
Yeah.
partner from years ago.
Yeah.
One of the first things he used to notice about Donald Trump is those suit jackets with Donald Trump's tiny baby shoulders poking up through the saggy shoulder pads. This is a guy who at least claims to be uber wealthy, and he can't get a properly tailored suit for himself. No, what that is entirely about. It's just like the Sherwin-Williams paint on his rotting hand. He first of all, he's cheap.
Right.
That's the first thing.
Right.
The second thing is he knows that he's got the narrow, tiny baby shoulders, and so he wants gigantic shoulder pads to cover that up. So he thinks that looks okay, or maybe that's part of his brand or something. But those are always the things I notice, because I get great delight over the fact that Donald Trump is vain, but yet he looks like a sloppy mess.
Right.
And he knows it. He has to face that mirror image of himself every morning when he gets up to put his face on and do his, the hair and
hair
makeup
that starts down at his knees,
all
and
the
he has
stuff.
to
Yeah,
wrap
the
it
fact
up.
that he gets out of the shower looks like Michael Douglas as Liberace in that one scene where Matt Damon comes around the corner and sees that shocking sight of naked Liberace there. And with Donald Trump, he's got the 9 feet of hair,
Right.
wet from the shower, just hanging down like Gollum in the pool, singing about catching fish. These are the things that make me so happy. Just imagining Donald Trump having to face the nightmare that is his own body every damn day.
Well, yes, and
We have to find our joy somewhere, don't we?
we do, because I just don't
Yeah.
like them.
Unless he has an army of like people that scrub him down like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz.
Yes, that's right.
You could not pay
God.
me nearly enough money to do that job. Nope.
Right.
No.
Slopping that paint on the rotting hand.
Yep.
We know he's so aware of that, and he's so embarrassed by it. He's trying to cover it up with the other hand.
There are ways to cover it up that blend with your skin color, so it's hilarious.
He is not a man who's known for blending. Oh my God.
Other people could do it for him.
Right, and maybe he doesn't realize that there is probably a paint, like a Sherwin-Williams paint swatch that's labeled canned ham that would be more appropriate for the color of his skin. He's going for straight up fleshy colored when I think he needs to go with something that's a little closer to what the color of a canned ham.
He better be careful, or someone's going to stick some pineapple rings with maraschino cherries inside all over him.
Exactly. All right. Well, Bob, you are not going to be on my little show today because you're recording Trek Politics today.
Yes, I have to talk about Star Trek today. That's
you poor
more
thing.
important than government shutdown.
Well, you have fun with Miss Mary Trump for
Yes.
us. And
Yes, thank you.
I will chat with you tomorrow.
If you're a homeowner in America, you need to listen to this. The FBI has been warning about a type of real estate fraud on the rise called title theft. Yikes. And your equity is the target. Here's how it works. Criminals can forge your signature on a single document, use a fake notary stamp, file it with the county, and just like that, on record, they own your home. Using your ownership, they can take out loans against your equity or even sell your property, and you won't even know about it until a foreclosure or a collection notice shows up in your mail. Yeah, that's why I have partnered with Home Title Lock, so you can protect your equity and find out today if you're already a victim. Go now to HometitleLock.com/Stephanie. You'll get a free title history report and a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of all of your title records, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud occurs, their U.S.-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix it. Don't be a victim. Protect your equity today. Go to HometitleLock.com/Stephanie. One more time, that's HometitleLock.com/Stephanie.